Hey guys, it's Horrorcrawler, and today we're going to be doing the 100 subscriber special where I show off my collection. I've got Jackson from Goat Team 6 behind the camera, and we're going to go ahead and give you all a rundown of my horror collection and just pretty much anything on the wall. Oddly enough, the first one we're going to start with isn't actually horror related, but it's from V for Vendetta, or it's an anonymous mask. That's what it is. I just like the mask, not really horror related. Then we have this knockoff Hush mask, just go past that. Then we have another anonymous mask that lights up, so that's cool. This next one is actually from horror. It's the Predator. It's supposed to be Scar from the movie Alien vs. Predator, but this symbol right here represents a blooded Yautja, so that means that it's killed a xenomorph before. Speaking of xenomorphs, right down here we have a face hugger. I really like this one. It's a mask that wraps around your whole face. And it's just kind of creepy looking. A lot of people don't like it because of how it looks. The next things we have are from Your Next. We have this right here. It's the wolf mask from Bad Moon FX. He makes these. This one's a hard resin. It's actually one of my favorite masks right here. Then over here, we have a wolf mask, a sheep mask, and a tiger mask from Your Next as well. It represents all three of the killers. These came from Horror Wolf. The thing I like most about this one right here is that unlike these, it's the hard resin. These are kind of thinner plastic. But overall, I still like them. They make a neat addition to the collection. The next three masks that we have are Ghostface from the movie Scream, Ghostface from MTV Scream, and Ghostface from Scary Movie. Ghostface is one of my favorite slashers. You're going to see more of him in my collection. And then, actually, a cool note about MTV Scream, if you've ever watched the show, it's one of my favorite slasher shows. So I would definitely check that out. Next one in the collection is the Baby from Happy Death Day. My buddy Nate Dogg actually got him for me for one of my birthdays. This one right here is Jason Voorhees. He's a pretty popular slasher. This mask in particular is not bad. It's not really thin plastic. It's kind of got a thicker layer of plastic. I do plan on upgrading it because it's not bad, but it's not the best quality. So I'm definitely planning on at some point upgrading that to a better mask in the future. The next ones we got in the collection, these aren't really horror related. They're more video game related, but we've got Dallas, Chains, and Clover. These guys are from Payday 2. If you want to check out the cosplays that I did with them, I'll have my link for Horrorcrawler, my main Instagram page, down in the description. These are not from the Joker's crew and are not from the Purge. For some reason, during the Fandom Fest that we cosplayed at, people kept thinking that we were from the Purge or from the Joker's crew. They are not from the Joker's crew. Moving on. Speaking of the Purge, these two are from the Purge. This is from the original Purge, and this is from some of the later sequels. Then up above, we have Wrench from Watch Dogs 2. I eventually want to actually get one of his masks that has LED light ups. This one's just kind of a latex mask. It's kind of thin, and it just has a mesh and then X's on the eyes. So eventually I want to actually get a better mask of him. Okay, down here are some masks that didn't quite make it to the wall. We have an alien mask. I just like the way it looked. Over here we have a hat and the mask from the mask. Doesn't really fit me, but it's a mask that I own. We have another V for Vendetta mask. I really like these masks for some reason. We've got a little gas mask that I got. It just reminded me of something from like Resident Evil, so I liked it and picked it up. Then we have a Slender Man, or a knockoff Slender Man. We got it from Spirit Halloween. We have a clown. That's a clown. That's all I got to say about it. We have my Scorpion mask. I do like this mask a lot. I did get it custom ordered. It just can't hang on the wall as easily because it doesn't have any straps to hang with. So it just kind of chills down here. We have one last mask over here. It's this. I don't know where it came from, but I have it. We have a horse mask. I put it on once on Horrorcrawler Gaming and looked like Don Juan from Hotline Miami. So you can look at that if you want. And then the last mask that I have is this one. My mom bought it for me while she was in New Orleans, and I like it because it looks like the Borderlands Psycho. This next one right here is from Dead by Daylight. It's the Bear Trap Killer. I actually got this one from one of my followers on Instagram. His name is Brandon. I will tag him down in the description below, as well as his new account that he's made where he's showing off his Funko Pops. I really like this one because it came straight from Dead by Daylight's website, and the detail on it also is really nice. It's not made of a hard resin, it's made of kind of a foam, but still, it looks great for a cosplay. This one right here is a Ghostface bust. I got it from another one of my followers, Batman Original. He does really cool work on his Instagram. I'll also tag him in the description down below. It's a bust of Ghostface, and it's probably one of the best pieces of my collection. I like it a lot. I like looking at it. And then right here, I've got the Buck 120, the knife Ghostface uses in the movies. And then I got a voice changer because, you know, Ghostface. And this right here is my favorite piece of my whole entire collection. It is the Pretty Lady Leatherface mask. Cool little fact about this one, he actually was the artist's last mold before he accidentally dropped and broke the mold. And I have it. It's one of my favorite pieces. It's like a latex, it feels like real skin, and then it actually has really nice hair, and just, it looks overall great. One of my favorite pieces. And then obviously I've got the corresponding Pretty Lady Leatherface mask pop figure, regular Leatherface, and then I even got the little plush Leatherface from the Loot Crate. This is the Man in the Mask from the first Strangers movie. They're made from the Def ORC on Instagram. I'll tag him as well. The really cool thing about this one is he's got a signature in it. He makes them all by hand, and also on his website, I was the picture for this mask when they were selling it. So it's a really cool mask. This mask is the Man in the Mask from The Strangers Pray at Night. It's also made by the Def ORC. He's also got a signature in the back. It's made of a lot thicker material than that one is, but that's also because in the movie, it was made to be that way. It's also got a little bit more of a smile here than the other one did. It's kind of just a blank expression. This one is portrayed by Damien Maffei, and I had actually won a contest where they were going to send me a t-shirt and this little corresponding flashlight right here. And unfortunately, when they sent me the t-shirt, it was the wrong size, and no matter how much I contacted them, they didn't want to fix it. So I talked to Damien Maffei, and he offered to give me a signed picture of himself, but for some reason, I turned it down. So Damien. Next up is Michael Myers. I have this mask right here. This was one that my mom bought for me when my collection was first getting started. Since then, I have upgraded to Michael Myers from the newest Halloween movie. And a little side note that's really cool, over here on his neck is where Laurie stabbed him in the neck with the sewing needle, I think in part 2. Next up, we got Saw. We've got Jigsaw right here, played by Tobin Bell. It actually kind of looks like Tobin Bell. It's pretty cool. Got Billy the Puppet on a tricycle, and then Billy the Puppet's pop figure. And then the last thing from the Saw franchise that I have is this beautiful Jigsaw mask. Just kidding. This is the actual Jigsaw mask. In here we have Reagan from The Exorcist as a pop figure. She's pretty cool looking. She's got a really thick head though, so she falls over all the time. Then we've got Kiefer Sutherland eating rice from The Lost Boys. He's pretty neat. We have this that came from a Loot Crate. It's supposed to be a vampire mouth phone holder, but it reminds me of a xenomorph mouth. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Then lastly, we got a couple more little people here. We got Sam from Trick or Treat. If you haven't seen that movie, I would check it out. It's a really cool movie. You got Chucky as a pop figure because he's one of the major slashers, so you gotta have him. And then lastly in this cubicle, we have Ash from The Evil Dead. Groovy. Then down here, we've got some Walking Dead playing cards. It's got 2 different decks. It's cool. And then we have a book from The Shining that you're supposed to write in as a notebook, but it says all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy right there. That's why I picked this up, just because it's from The Shining. Then down here, we have 2 things from Terminator. I know Terminator is technically not considered horror, but it was one of my favorite movies as a kid, so to me it's horror. We have just this plate that came from a Loot Crate. It's just a flat plate. Hellboy's hand is holding it up. And then we have this little statue right here of a T-800 that I picked up, and his head opens. I don't know why, but I just like the statue a lot. I mean, look how detailed it is. Up here we got a couple more things. I actually have some coasters that I got from GameStop that are Jurassic Park, which is horror. I know the second and third and the following ones weren't really horror, but I'm pretty sure this one was considered horror. Then we've got Michael. He's from Rob Zombie's movie, and he's got little troll hair. He was one of the first pieces in my collection. Then we got this patch of Michael that came with something else from the collection. We haven't got to it yet, but it's from The Thing. All right, so right here we have all of my Freddy Krueger stuff. We have a little pop figure here, his larger pop figure over there, and some holy water. The reason holy water is there is because as you watch the movies, it starts to get more of a Catholic thing to it. So, you know, you should check out the movies. And then lastly, we have the glove from razorgloves.com. Another really cool piece in the collection because it's actual metal and feels like a real glove. They used to make them sharp, but I think due to people cutting themselves, they had to cut it down. But still, other than that, it is one of the best things that I have. And then right here, we have this Hummer. It's the yellow Hummer from Zombieland. I actually bought it and then drew the 3s on the side, so that's why they don't look super great. But Zombieland's horror. Over here we have this cool little popcorn sign that my younger brother Trinity gifted me. Thank you for that. It's really cool. And then we have the original Horrorcrawler gaming mask that I had to unfortunately put to rest. Then we got these alien eggs that I got from a Fandom Fest. Fun fact about these is that the guy liked my costume so much, he actually gave me a discount on them, so that's pretty cool. In here we've got some closed eggs and some cracked open eggs with little face huggers that can come out. That's pretty neat. And at night they glow in the dark. You got some instructions right here to prevent infestation or impregnation. Keep all living organisms away from the eggs. Discard broken, cracked, or open eggs and run far, far away. Some eggs contain face huggers, which are most certainly bad for your health. And do not look directly into the eggs. And then on the top, it's got like a little tiny picture here depicting what exactly happens if you do exactly what it said not to do. And then a little nutrition sheet right here. Then I got this little Predator pop figure. He's from the new movie The Predator. He's all silver. I've got this guy right here. This is an elder predator. I had a poll to actually figure out if I wanted to keep him in the box or take him out of the box. The poll won to take him out of the box, so that's what I have him. I like him a lot because he has a lot of detail. He's got arm blades that come out. You can also flip open his little wrist gauntlet, and then you can also take his mask off to show his ugly motherfucking face. Then here we just have a xenomorph pop figure. He's got his little alien mouth. But other than that, he's just a little xenomorph pop figure. Then we have a little xenomorph figure here. I picked him up a while ago, and I don't exactly know what he's a crossover of, but he's supposed to be a crossover about something. Then lastly, for this section of the collection, we got a little Predator Hound from the movie The Predator. Next, we have some Pennywise cereal that is definitely way too old for consumption. So it's just kind of there for looks. Then we've got little tiny Pennywise pop figures. We have a little tiny one with the spider legs out, making a mean face. And then we have Pennywise right here with his hair with the hair over his face, like in the movie whenever they're looking at the slideshow from Bill's projector. Right here we've got Gage and Church from Pet Sematary. You got Gage after he was hit by the semi and come back from the dead with his little scalpel that he kills a lot of people with, and Church the cat that was also hit by a semi and came back from the dead. This little piece I picked up when I was out of town, and it's supposed to be Jaws. It's an homage to Jaws. You can make him spit the leg out, so that's pretty cool. And then next we have this right here from The Thing. I bought this in the Michael Myers patch that I showed you all. This actually is what that came with. And it's from The Thing, and it says McCready right here. It's when they were testing their blood. We got the little wire going into the blood because they were testing to see if they were thingified. If they were thingified, the blood would react on a cellular level. If they weren't, then the blood wouldn't react. Next, we got the Friday the 13th section. We have a little Jason Voorhees figure in a box. We have the same little Jason Voorhees figure out of the box next to Jason's grave right here, which reads Jason Voorhees. I think it's on a picket fence. I'm not entirely sure. We have a Jason that my parents brought back for me when they were in Florida. He's got worms come out of his eyes. This is part 6 Jason, I believe, after he comes back from Tommy being stupid and stabbing him and electricity shocking him in the heart. Then we have this Jason, who's really cool. He's got excellent detail, and he came from the same place that John Kramer came from. You can even take his mask off. Then we have my Ghostface collection. Back here we have a vinyl album that has the soundtrack on it. We have this Ghostface figure that I think came from NECA Toys. He's pretty neat. We have my Ghostface pop figure. I like him a lot as well. Although it is kind of weird that he has like little pop eyes through his little Ghostface eyes. Then we have this drawing that I made at work. Took me forever to do. Actually, somebody liked it so much they offered to let me be in an art contest, but then asked me to send in more artwork. But I'm not an artist usually, so I didn't send any more. So that's the best art that I've ever probably made. And then lastly, he was just recently added to the collection. We got a little Ghostface mini figurine. Then we've got a couple of things from the Gremlins. We've got the little flashing gremlin. The first Gremlins was horror. It's actually, I'm pretty sure it says it's horror on Google. If it's not, then correct me, but I'm pretty sure it says it is, so it's horror. And then we got little Gizmo. And for those of you who haven't watched Gremlins, you have to get water on this guy to make babies like that. And if you feed them after midnight, they turn into that. So don't feed them after midnight. Then we got this Phantom of the Opera mask. Me and my fiance actually put that on my face, so it's casted to my face. That's all I gotta say about that. I wore that to a Phantom Fest. It was really cool. And it is really cool that it actually matches my face quite well. Then we have Slappy from Goosebumps. And he just kind of chills there. He doesn't really do much. He just kind of sits there. Next up, we got Chucky the Killer Doll. This was before they actually made good guy dolls. Like, I know that they have some people like Garrett Zima that makes them, and now Trick or Treat Studio sells them. But before that, you could buy this little dude at Spencer's. And he was cool for his time, although he's really stiff. He's got like a really weird, it's like he's kind of filled with foam, and he's got like almost like a doll body, unlike Tiffany. Then we have Tiffany, Chucky's wife. She doesn't have nearly as much design put into her as Chucky does, so I'm not a huge fan of it. She has like the hard plastic doll body, and that's pretty much it. She has her wedding veil, and that's kind of all she does. Then right here we have a little mystery box that my brother actually made for me for Christmas. It is solid wood, and he and my stepdad built it for me because when we were younger, we used to play Call of Duty Zombies all the time. And usually when I have this sitting down, it's in front of Chucky and Tiffany, and usually we got this little thing on top of it, because in the games, if you get a teddy bear, your weapons are gone. And then lastly, we have this picture of me on my wall. My fiance had this made because this picture right here was my first picture that actually made it out pretty far. This picture was getting liked so much that Instagram sponsored it for $30, and I think it got around to about 1.5K people liking it, and I think it was 7K people that saw it. So this was my first big picture of me wearing my Bear Trap Killer mask and my bloody shower curtain, and this is really awesome. As a final thank you all for reaching 100 subscribers, I just wanted to do a little bit of a face reveal. Thank you all so much for getting me to 100 subscribers. It genuinely means a lot, and I'm so grateful that you all enjoy the content. I hope you enjoyed this in-depth look at my horror collection that I promised, and I will see you all in the next video.